Okay, that was kind of crazy. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a deer come off the hill. I had the sawmill going. I was pretty focused on cutting the log. Had my earbuds in, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a deer come off the hill, which initially I kind of freaked out because there shouldn't be any of my deer loose around here. So when I saw a deer coming from off the mountain, I turned around to see what it was, and about that time I saw probably a 1.5-year-old doe go down to the fence just to see my deer. My deer kind of got worked up for a second there. It was really kind of interesting. I assumed it's 10:30 in the morning. That deer was probably just trucking by and smelled the other deer and came down the hill to see what was going on. But European fallow deer are thought to be the oldest domesticated deer simply because their disposition allowed them to be domesticated easier than other deer. At this moment, there's really only one wild, completely undomesticated fallow deer herd left in the world, which is in Turkey. But there's thousands and thousands of people just like me that raise these domesticated European fallow deer all around the world on their farms and ranches. With the holiday season upon us, it gives both Cedar and I an opportunity to reflect on our family and just how important they are to us, and how we want to protect them should something ever happen to either one of us. With Policy Genius, you can save time and money so you can provide a financial safety net for your family starting today.
Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. Their award-winning agents will walk you through the process step by step and will help you compare your options to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams.
So even if you have life insurance through your work, it may not be enough coverage, and it more than likely doesn't go with you should you leave that job.
Policy Genius has thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best policy fit for their needs.
So check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policy Genius.
Head to policygenius.com/redpoppyranch or click the link in the description to compare your free life insurance quotes.
Thank you, Policy Genius. Excuse me, dogs. I'm definitely getting faster at cutting in these saddle notches with the chainsaw, but when it comes to the fine detail work, it's still very time consuming to get the saddle notch precision tuned with the angle grinder. But no matter how I spin it, it simply just takes time to get these notches fitting precisely enough to where I feel good about things. So I constantly have to remind myself to slow down just a little bit and take my time, so I'm happy with the end product when I'm done. I'm using a carbide grinding disc specifically designed for wood that does a great job finishing off the notches once I've got them roughed in. Then once that's done, I use both 8-inch and 10-inch timber screws to lag everything together. I can see that this little 8-sided cabin is going to take some time to build, but I can also see that if I just keep my nose to the grindstone, I should be able to get anywhere from 4 to as many as 8 logs a day stacked on this cabin. Running the chainsaw and the little angle grinder all day can be a little bit hard on the arms and the shoulders, but it has to be done. So I'm trying not to let myself find a way to speed this project up and simply embrace the struggle and get these notches fitting exactly the way that I want them to fit. Because I can see that when this 8-sided cabin is finished, it's going to be a very special cabin. So this is the first official log cabin I've ever built, and I probably could have picked an easier project to start with. But I have already learned so much from the process that I can't wait to do the next one, which is almost always how this happens. I learn along the way, I become better at the process, and I want to do it again sometime in the near future. At some point, probably next winter, I'm going to build another cabin that resembles the old homestead cabin from our family homestead over in Bear Lake. So this cabin is teaching me everything I need to know before I do the other cabin. It's too late now for therapy to save me. That old radio still don't play me.
in my arms, I said, you're coming home with me today. Martha, you're the sweetest girl, an angel sent down to this world. I love you more than words could ever say. Every day's a new beginning, life is just a game you're winning. Every time you look, an open door. So run right out, chase the sunlight, nothing left to do but do right. Martha, you're the one my heart beats for. Martha, my darling, your name I keep calling. Heartaches forgotten when you lie with me. Down in the holler, in mansion or squalor, Martha, where you are is where I'll be. Evening comes, lay your head down, leave your weary legs to rest now. Moon is high, but darling, not for long. I will write a song about you, how I could not live without you. Martha, I will meet you at the dawn. Martha, my darling, your name I keep calling. Heartaches forgotten when you lie with me. Down in the holler, in mansion or squalor, Martha, where you are is where I'll be. Martha, my darling, your name I keep calling. Heartaches forgotten when you lie with me. Down in the holler, in mansion or squalor, Martha, where you are is where I'll be. Martha, where you are is where I'll be.
As much as I like to tell myself that I am a fifth-generation Idahoan, there is this small part of my life, something like 37 years, that I spent in Arizona before moving to Idaho. Roundhouses in the Southwest, I would guess, are more abundant there than anywhere else in this country. As a child, I saw quite a few traditional Navajo roundhouses, and the one I'm trying to build this cabin after was my best friend Brian's grandmother's that I saw on the Navajo Indian Reservation when I was in 3rd grade. The traditional roundhouse that my friend Brian's grandmother grew up in had dirt floors and an open pit fire right in the middle of the cabin. I can see that this 8-sided cabin is going to take somewhere between 80 and 100 logs, so I have to carefully pick through the logs that I have and find logs that will work on the 8-sided cabin, while remembering that I still need a lot of these logs for the other cabin that I plan on building sometime later this year. I'm trying to use the smaller diameter logs for the 8-sided cabin while hand picking the biggest and the best looking logs for the homestead cabin that I hope to build later this year. So once the logs are sorted, I have to strap them to the forklifts on the front of my skid steer and carefully take them up the hill to where the homemade sawmill is sitting. And after those improvements that I made to the homemade sawmill, the sawmill is not only running great, but it's cutting true. I can see improvements that I want to make to this sawmill all over the place. But this is something I would rather do in the summertime than when it's 14 degrees outside. So at the moment, I just want to keep the sawmill running. For the last 120 to 130 years, these logs have been sitting in a barn over in Bear Lake. And for that reason, they have nails in them. Before I run them through the sawmill, I have to look them over closely to make sure I don't hit any of those nails. I'm only cutting the tops and the bottoms of these logs off, so I'm not using any water to keep the saw blade cool. But I do have to keep an eye on that saw blade because if I'm not careful, it'll get warm and break. I would guess the average weight of these logs is probably somewhere around 150 pounds, but occasionally there will be a 250 pounder in there or even a 300 pound log, so I have to be careful about moving them around. Not only do I anticipate getting all of these logs set on the 8-sided cabin, but the hope is that I can do this without taking on any new injuries in the process. As the walls get taller on the 8-sided cabin, clearly it's going to be harder to stack those logs. So I'm trying to use the heaviest logs down low and the smaller logs as I get up higher. But either way, I'll get them set. All of these slabs that I cut off these logs after running them through the sawmill end up in my fire right in the middle of the 8-sided cabin. From us here at Red Poppy Ranch, we wanted to say thank you for taking time to stop by and see what we're doing. We want to wish you and yours a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we will see you guys in a week.